It didn't become official until you got here.
Oh, to be recorded. Oh, I'm out of shape. I'm hoping to sell that on listing by second.
Oh, yeah? Oh, you know, that's what I love that.
Yeah, they did a good job too, because I remember before.
Yeah.
They built that garage.
No, the two owners previously, you know, it's changed hands, what, twice in the last. This would be the third sale in like less than 5 years. But it was written into the first owner. But he's situated so nicely there. I think that's just
Yeah, I like that street.
Yeah. And you know, it's an interesting history there because that's Osceola Township. And the reason why is because they lost and mining engineers had a theory that there was another big load.
Oh,
And he went to Boston and got financial backers. Bought, you know, the claim and the rights for it was right on site of California. And had it figured it all out and sunk a vertical shaft. And he was like within 5 feet of his end. And it just paid him. And that was the Tamarack mine. And so those were the big houses for the
cool.
higher ups.
Sure.
But anyway, that's why, you know, you go through homes and everything else to get there. So you just read that all the time. You have those houses. Hi, Casey.
Hi.
Is Dennis coming tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
Try's not here yet.
Yeah, I think that would. We have a time sheet.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
You're cutting it close.
Okay.
Madam Clerk, can you hear us all right from home?
Oh, Jennifer's at home.
Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us. Good evening. Sorry about that, folks.
Did you have a nice Christmas?
Yeah. Yep. New Year. And New Year. Now it looks like spring is here.
Today, anyway.
It's gonna be an ice rink if this stuff freezes.
Do you have any kids that, like, I don't know, do you ever do the Santa thing?
They're all they melted as long as they can.
That's,
A couple of years ago, my wife's like, "I
What
think
made
Lucy
it?
still believes in Santa." I said, "No, I think Lucy stopped believing in Santa like years ago, but she just kept stringing you along so that she get more presents."
funny. It's cute.
You know this, Stella, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he works with Century 21. Or he used to anyway.
Be a good.
I think he's still doing some property management. He's up there in the finance office right now working.
Mm. Really matter, being that it was a work session.
According to the clerk, I guess.
You.
Good evening. We'll call the meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we get underway, we'll observe a moment of silence for our departed past commissioner and county board chair and state representative and valued community member Mike Malati. Thank you for that time. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Chairman Tikkanen,
Here.
Commissioner Keranen,
Present.
Commissioner Anderson,
Here.
Commissioner Jansen,
Here.
Commissioner Britz.
Here. Next item on the agenda, we have a full quorum, thank you. Next item on the agenda is the election of our vice chair for the upcoming year. Jennifer, do you run that or do I?
You run that one, Chairman.
Thank you. Thanks for keeping me on the straight and narrow. All right, do we have any nominations for vice chair?
I nominate Roberts.
I'll second.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jensen to nominate Roy Britz for the upcoming year as vice chair. Are there other nominations? Hearing none, is there further discussion? Very good. All those in favor of electing Commissioner Roy Britz for a term of 1 year as vice chair signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Congratulations. Thank you. Moving on then to item F is the minutes from the December 1st work session and also the December 9th regular meeting. I'll entertain the motion when you're ready.
I'll make a motion that we approve both sets of minutes.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Jensen, supported by Commissioner Anderson to approve the December 1st work session minutes and the December 9th regular meeting minutes. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? Motion carries. Item G, are there any late agenda item requests from the board? Are there any late agenda item requests? Hearing none, we'll move on. You have the agenda in your packet. What is your wish? There's one question I have, Madam Clerk, on item under new business, item 15, based on your communications, should that be jury board appointment? as opposed to canvassing board?
That
I
is
believe you
correct.
made- Okay, so we should change that to jury board appointment. Are there any other revisions? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support. Motion made by Commissioner Karen, supported by Commissioner Fritz to adopt the amended agenda. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have public comments. We invite the public to come to the podium, speak the podium. This is relegated just to agenda items. Before we close tonight, we'll have public comments again, and that's on the topic. Are there agenda related items? Do we have anyone online now? Nope. Very good, we'll move on. Next is approval of the bills. Our finance committee has reviewed those, plus the other commissioners. This month totals expenditures of $1,193,339.39.
I'll make the support.
Motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Karen to approve the bills. Is there further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Karen,
Yes.
Chairman Tickenen,
Yes.
Commissioner Jansen,
Yes.
Commissioner Britz.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we're going to our reports, our commissioner reports. And if you, as a commissioner, are involved with a special committee, meaning the jail meetings or property committees, if you could deliver a report along with your other report, that would be appreciated. We'll start with Commissioner Anderson.
Just a couple things. I have one, the DNR had announced in December, on December 9th, that they have awarded a land and water conservation grant to the DNR Parks and Recreation Division, in other words, internally, for the Hope Douglas Falls Phase 2 of $1 million. So they have, they apparently have received funding to start Phase 2. Of course, they completed the driveway access, parking lot access into the site last 2 years. Yeah. And so we just wanted to develop more of the trails going into the falls itself. I didn't want to just highlight that. Is that for $1 million? Or $1 million, yes. So the grant for $1 million. And then a lot, needs to be a lot of water conservation, you have to match it by 50%. So I would assume that's another $500,000. Very good. That has not changed. Yeah, delivery good news. Yes. And I guess maybe I'll let Joel and I'll chime in on the property committee.
All right.
He's the chair.
Very good. I'll jump over to Commissioner Karen.
To add to Commissioner Anderson's point, that we had a rec meeting yesterday, and the falls will be they'll be open, you know, and they have the trails and the things done there. The money that's allocated, I'm pretty sure that work won't be done until 2027. So we got the monies kind of there, but that work won't be done until next year. But it will be open, and that's going to be for, like you said, a pit toilet, some ADA things to go along with that. Property held committee, we met. I got a list of, we went through the pros and cons. We got that together. There's a few more things I'd like to get, which is on agenda today with the canal view appraisal and such like that. Some other items that I can plug into that. So we've met a couple times, and it was a good discussion. And thanks to Madam Clerk, she got some good notes, and we have notes. I'll be putting that together. I'd like to complete that when we get an appraisal in hand, just to have numbers there. So everything else I have is on the agenda, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. Commissioner Jensen.
I don't have much to report. I mean, I was at the jail committee meeting with you.
And we'll report on that.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Commissioner Gray.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have nothing from my district report, but as far as Sharon Avenue and current jail properties, what to do with them. I've already spoken about what the Sharon Avenue committee wants to do on that, but I reached out to the committee to schedule a meeting on January 29th, tentatively at 10 a.m. to discuss the jail itself and open up an opportunity to the committee to meet with the sheriff. He's very welcoming for the committee to come in and do a tour of the building and sort of well aware of what exactly looks like and what some of the problems are with that building. So I'm getting emails back from folks, but I haven't heard from the full committee yet. But right now it's tentatively January 29th at 10 a.m. But hopefully do the tours prior to that so we can have a discussion on the 29th.
Thank you. Before we have a report for the jail construction committee, but before I get to that, I want to make mention of the it's a special year in 2026 for the Great Bear Chase. It's the 45th annual event, and for those who are on REA, you get a monthly news magazine or bi-monthly, and we made the front cover. So if you have it, or make sure you read it, but it's a very nice article. It's the 45th year. Makes Angela Luskin, the race director, and she has been for quite a few years now, reported that last year, of course, they had over 800. I remember when there was just a couple of dozen participants, and it was a lot of fun. But last year they had 800 residents. 67% of those racers were from outside of Michigan.
Wow.
So they estimate that made an economic contribution to the communities of about $800,000. Not that it's always about money, but it doesn't hurt. So congratulations to the Great Bear Chase, and also to the originators, Rick Oikarainen and Bob Gregg, who started it way back when. Of course, Rick Oikarainen is son of the late great Leonard Oikarainen, Mr. Ski, for those of us old enough to remember those days. So kudos to the Great Bear Chase. And I'm pleased that we have a nice report with our jail committee. I'm going to call upon one of the members to give us the report, Faith Morrison. Our committee chair, Jared Perkis, has a conflicting meeting tonight, so we couldn't attend. Okay.
Thank you, Chairman. I have a written report from Chairman Herkus. His summary is that we've been meeting monthly, and we will have our fourth meeting on February 2nd at 4 p.m. and that's open to the public, and all are invited. It's upstairs on the fifth floor. Participation from the committee members has been good, and we are making progress, but responses, engagement from the public hasn't been as much as anticipated. So we encourage everyone to go to the county website to provide concerns or thoughts that they have about a new jail, and or attend one of our meetings or reach out to one of the committee members directly. You can find the names of the committee members in our minutes, which are also posted on the county website under the 2026 jail effort tab. We are debating now how to gain more of a social media presence, and we don't have a good path forward. So we are open to suggestions and would love someone to volunteer to help with that effort. The jail needs subcommittee has been meeting and providing the main committee with valuable information. We will be submitting a letter or memorandum to Congressman Bergman's office requesting funding from the federal government for design or utility construction. We talked with a representative from his office who informed us of the opportunity. It's a long shot, but we thought it wouldn't hurt to try. And finally, in February, we hope to set aside a date for sometime later in this year of delivering our recommendations to the board. That's a report from the main jail committee. I'm also a member of the jail needs subcommittee, which is the sheriff's subcommittee looking into the needs for the jail that we hope to have designed as part of this process. That's also been a very active committee. They've met 3 times with a 4th meeting scheduled, also open to the public, also in the 5th floor with meetings posted on the county website. As our chair Herkus said, we are continuing to struggle to how to get out to the public the activities that are happening in response to the failure of the millage and the ongoing need for a safe and effective jail in Houghton County. So in addition to our chair, Jared Herkus, call for volunteers, if there is anybody who has ideas on how to do that. It feels like in these modern times, the newspaper and some of the more traditional methods for getting the word out to the public are less effective. And so we are very much trying to be thinking outside the box to try to solve that problem. One of the most effective things that we've done was when it occurred to us to ask our jail captain, Travis DeCellier, to please write down some scenarios on the kind of activities that take place in the jail as in the course of carrying out their duties in the sheriff's office. And it's been really eye-opening for the committee members to see these. And some of these scenarios are posted with the minutes of our last meeting. The fourth one will be posted with the minutes of our most recent meeting. And these are really gripping stories that show that some of the deficiencies in the current jail come out because of the multiple uses of the same spaces for many different purposes. And so when you have small spaces that are shared among many purposes, if something new comes in, somebody comes in who's inebriated and needs to sit out that being drunk, that space may have been occupied by somebody maybe on a mental health hold, and it causes a cascade of moving people around like chess pieces to try to do something that in a well-functioning jail would simply be a matter of using the facilities that were designed for that purpose. So we have heard on both committees that there's skepticism for why we need a larger jail, because often folks are thinking about number of beds as what makes a jail small or large, and it does. But the other thing that makes a jail not fit to purpose is not having the kind of rooms and spaces necessary to do the things that are best practices in law enforcement and corrections. So that's what I have to report, Chairman, today. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to our department heads. Let's see what we have here. Sure.
Our numbers have been averaging anywhere from 18 to 20 days at any given time. We, over the holidays, we had a state holidays. That was on the table this year so far. So far, we've seen a lot of tourism, a lot of people coming in the area, a lot of local businesses. Otherwise, I have nothing else to report.
Building department. The Canal View, anything to report, Adam?
Adam Blackletter, Canal View Administrator. Our census is about 130. Our goal is to be in the 140s by the end of our fiscal year, which I think that's 2030. So we're headed in the right direction. We had a great holiday season. You know, a lot of families and visitors visit over the holidays. Probably the most we've seen in the last 10 years. So it was a really great holiday season.
Very good, thank you. And equalization, you're on the agenda. Is there anything you want right now, Jake? Very good. All right. Well, we have our airport manager outgoing and our new airport manager here in attendance. Who's talking tonight?
It'll be me, lucky one.
Casey.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Casey Polkemore from the airport. Other than normal airport business going on, we do have a couple of things that are happening. One is a new street lighting pump for our water system. Pretty significant upgrade. The old one is old. Originally put in, I believe, 1974 and underpowered as the air park has been growing. So that's a pretty significant upgrade. We also are preparing an application for a grant for 6 new T hangars. As long as everything goes smoothly with that, we expect prep work to be started in the fall. Some good news for 2025, we had great numbers. For 2025, for passenger wise, we had 61,419 passengers, which is a 25-year high. So it's great. The last one was 2,000, was more than that, just over 63,000. Lastly, I'd like to recognize Mr. Dennis Hex, who has been completely dedicated to serving the airport and the community, the county for the last 22 years. His last day is on Thursday, and he'll be retiring. That's all I have.
Well, before we leave that topic, I wonder if you could ask the outgoing manager to come forward. Yeah.
Thank you.
You excited?
Am I excited? It's kind of strange, is what it is. Very strange.
Well, we, in recognition of your 22 years of dedicated, invaluable, and exemplary service to the Houghton County as the airport manager from 2003 to 2026. And I know there are people here that think of 2003 as being a long time ago. It seems like yesterday to folks like me, but this is giving an appreciation to your dedication and exemplary service. Thank you. And we are hosting an event at the airport at 11 o'clock on Thursday to wish Dennis a happy retirement. Are there any other department?
We have treasurer on Zoom, but I don't know if you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
I just wanted to give an update. I am medically coming along just fine. I can put weight on my leg, and I was in the office today for a few hours. So I'm slowly getting back to the office. In the meantime, the past 2 months, my staff has been doing a marvelous job. So I wanted to thank them. And then also I'd like to thank Dennis and wish him a happy retirement. It's been nice working with you for 22 years and wish you the best of luck. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Treasurer Lisa. Well, we're happy to hear you're coming along and that you've been able to spend some time in the office.
Thank you.
All right. We'll move. There's no unfinished business, so we're on to new business.
Do you want to check with the clerk?
I apologize. Jennifer, do you have anything to report from the clerk's office?
I do not at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Moving on then, the first thing under new business is we have recommendations for updating our rules of order. These were discussed at the at the January work session. You'll see a copy of the current rules of order, and that is followed by recommendations that were prepared and reviewed with the administrator. And if you have any comments or questions about those revisions, otherwise, we can entertain a motion to adopt these.
Chairman,
So, oh,
Yes, Claire Kelly.
just making sure that you and I are still going to meet regarding the committee appointments.
Yes, we wanted to get this meeting out, so I'd be happy to follow up with you and meet at your convenience. Hopefully before this week is out, if that's agreeable.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I'll make a motion. We approve the changes presented by the administrator for the rules of order.
A motion has been made by Commissioner Jensen, supported by Commissioner Anderson to adopt the revisions listed in your packet. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Kelly, can we do a roll call vote on this, please?
Commissioner Jansen,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Chairman Tikkanen,
Yes.
Commissioner Kiernan,
Yes.
Commissioner Britz.
Yes. Very good. Motion carries. We'll move on then to the amendment. Number 2 is the amended schedule of Board of Commissioners 2026 meetings. We had adopted this previously, but discovered that one of the dates was incorrect. So you have those corrected by the clerk, and they're in the packet. We do need a motion on this.
Motion to adopt the large draft.
I'll second.
Okay, a motion made by Commissioner Britz and supported by Commissioner Jensen. Under discussion, I apologize, I should have included also the schedule for work sessions that is also in your packet. Are you,
I can change my motion to include the work session dates as well.
very good. So the amended motion is to adopt the schedule of board meetings and work sessions for 2026. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, just do a voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Very good. Now we're on to item number 3, the amended 2025 apportionment report. We'll call upon our equalization director, Jacob Jer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have for you all this evening an amended apportionment report. This is the same report that was presented in October and amended in November. This version was amended again to reflect a last-minute change from Adams Township, opting not to levy their fire hall bond millage of 1.2121 mils. This was made known to me in the beginning of December, shortly before their tax bills were set to go out. So, are there any questions for me at this time?
I don't have any questions, but do you want to give us some highlights on this?
Yeah, so I mean, in essence, this is a report that summarizes the taxable values and the millage rates across the county. This is an annual report that we're required to do, and we submit another version with the state. I guess in summary, the Fulton County taxable total is $1,318,823,506, which is basically a tally of the townships and cities. And yeah, that's say the highlights of that.
Is that total on the report, Jacob?
It's not. So the way that this is broken down is you can essentially find your district. So like where you live within, say, that township, you would go to that line and then the total village rate in the far right column.
Right.
So the county villages are listed in the beginning of the report. So there's not actually a line item for just the county.
What is that? Give us that big number again, please.
So this is 2025's taxable total, $318,823,506. And we'll be starting our work soon with the 2026 databases that we'll be receiving in March roughly, and then that will determine our values moving forward.
Very good. Any update on the new map service?
Yeah, so Alex and I have been coordinating with Schneider GIS to get remote access into our BSNA data. They have had a few kind of technical difficulties just in terms of familiarizing themselves with our network and the setup and stuff. But it's moving along smoothly. I was in communication with them today, actually. And as you guys had approved before too, we still have our old website that's functional that taxpayers are able to use and reference. We anticipate having this done maybe a little later than February now at this point, probably early March. And with that in mind, I'm thinking rather than publishing, a replication of the 2025 data that's out there, they're going to work through kind of any of the technical issues that they find with it, and then also map the splits that are going to be present on the 2026 assessments.
So it'll be quite up-to-date information once it's launched.
Yeah, that's the goal. We're also hoping to have a mechanism for the local township and city assessors to be able to submit requests or any issues that they might find with the map directly to Schneider. As of now, we've been coordinating that process in our office, so it'll just kind of make it a little bit more direct.
Very good. Thank you. Any other questions for our director? Thank you, Jay.
Thank you. Could I have you all adopt the report as presented? Amended report.
I'll make a motion to adopt the amended report as presented.
Support.
Motion made by Commissioner Jensen, supported by Commissioner Perrin to adopt the portion report. Further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we're moving on now to item 4, courthouse security presentation. Yeah, Judge Stowe. Judge Stowe, congratulations.
Thank you. I have with me Jason Williams. Mr. Williams is the court security specialist with the Michigan Supreme Court. He drove up from Lansing yesterday, and he took a thorough look at the Berga County Court this morning and looked at our courthouse. I got a chance to meet you, Chairman Tikkanen, today as well. But before I say anything else, I want to congratulate Dennis on your 22 years and the outstanding job you've done with our court. Appreciated our court as opposed to some of the larger ones. The wait times are a little less coming out of Oakland County. But the one thing you've done is you've now made me the second oldest employee of this courthouse. So with your departure, so I'm rapidly approaching the #1 position, but you're keeping me a little further down the list. I do want to thank the commissioners and Administrator Rowe for inviting me. I did the last month is originally when I was supposed to come before the board, but I think it's better that we're doing it this month because that gave Mr. Williams a chance to come up and take a look at what we have here. And before I'm going to be very short, but I did want to let you know, I did email to Chairman Tikkanen and Administrator Rowe an article that was forwarded to me by Judge Cheryl Hill. And this courthouse turns 140 years old in 2027. I've had the privilege of working here for over 35 years since I was 25 years old. And I am mindful of how privileged and blessed I have been to serve this community for that many years in such a wonderful place with so many wonderful people. But an article was published in the Oakland County Legal News on January 9th, identifying the 40 most beautiful public buildings in the United States, and the Oakland County Courthouse ranked 38. And one of the quotes from the article I'm going to read right now, public buildings are meant to serve their communities, but many of them also quietly elevate the places we live. Through thoughtful design, historic character, or simply the way they make a street feel more grounded. Well, this place has certainly made me and my family and many of us feel more grounded. And the time we've had to live in this community. I think obviously the building is wonderful, but the people have been more important. And that's why I'm here tonight. I'm always concerned about the people, the employees, the staff, the commissioners, the litigants, the person coming to pay their tax bill, the person coming to get their birth certificate. And although we may be, I think we're higher than that, although we may be the 38th most beautiful building, we are not the 38th most secure building, nor do I expect that we'll necessarily get there. But I do want to thank all of you for the approval of the recent significant improvements that have been made to the 97th District Court. I took a tour of that. It's not quite completed with Jason this afternoon. The various requests that we have made over the years to make our building a little bit safer. But since I've been the probate and family court judge in 2009, I had Dennis McNell, who's Mr. Williams' predecessor, come on various occasions to look at our building. There's been a lot of improvements made on the inside, but the one thing we keep coming back to is the issue of a single point of entry. Mr. Williams talked a little bit about that, and our sheriff has graciously volunteered to offer a few comments as well that Mr. Williams has done. But last time Dennis was here was in 2019, and that was like the #1 priority. I can't remember if any of you were on the board at the time, but several years ago, along with approval of the district court improvements, we actually had approval of the single point of entry. We had dates set for when bids would be taken, when construction would begin. And then, the pandemic happened and everything, and, things kind of went the way they did. And we're still here without that having taken place. So once again, I just want to thank you for inviting me and inviting Mr. Williams a chance to share a little bit. And it's his area of expertise, not mine. So I'm going to turn it over to him. Thank you for being patient.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I again echo the judge's sentiment. I greatly appreciate the opportunity to come and speak with you on something that obviously is very near and dear to my heart, but a topic that sometimes can get overlooked, but is absolutely necessary. One of the things we're seeing in my realm is there's a lack of data collection at the state level, but the federal level, they keep track very well of threats to the judiciary. And over the last 4 to 5 years, U.S. Marshal Service has seen a 40% increase in threats to the judiciary, whether that's judges, the courthouses themselves, or employees within the courthouse. We can extrapolate that out to the states. So oftentimes we hear, well, we haven't had an incident yet. The key to that is yet. And as we can see by that data, that increase is only getting more and more. So the need for security is there. And I want to echo what the judge said. You all as a board should be commended for the progress that you've made. My predecessor, Mr. McNell, has had the opportunity to tour your courthouse multiple occasions, as the judge said, since 2009. In preparation for coming here today to view the court, I was able to review all of his reports, and significant progress has been made on his recommendations in many areas. When we talk about those recommendations, there's a couple key goals that you keep in mind when you're talking security and securing a facility. There's really four principles to that, and that's deter, detect, delay, and then respond. The first 3 are key. By the time you get to a response, you've already had an incident, and that's what we're trying to avoid. I don't think we've had a significant incident in your courthouse in many, many years. I think the last one I'm aware of was 2010. The goal of security is to keep it that way. We don't want incidents. to be proactive with those changes. So the respond aspect of those 4 principles, we're too late. We didn't meet our mark with the first 3. So some of the recommendations that have been made in the past by my predecessor are based off of recommendations that come from a multitude of areas. There's a National Center for State Courts, and one of the aspects or one of the things that they do is they've developed guidelines for best practices in courts. U.S. Marshal Service does something similar. If you're not aware, the Marshal Service, along with their fugitive aspect, one of their main tasks is securing federal court buildings. So they are, at the federal level, the experts on courthouse security. The National Sheriff's Association also does a very good job of putting forth best practices in court security. So with all of these groups coming together and making these recommendations, kind of what we see is building blocks and concentric circles. So we start from the outside when we're looking at deterring, make it tougher and tougher as we get the center courtroom itself or your offices where your employees work. The other thing that goes with those stages of developing security measures is kind of break it down in best practices, saying that you want to do this in phases. Ideally, with an unlimited budget, as I was talking to the judges and staff earlier today, with an unlimited budget, we could put best practices into place and we would have security concerns. That's not the reality that you're dealing with or that any other courthouses are dealing with. So the practices and the recommendations that my predecessor made and that I will be making start with kind of a phased approach to this. And each of those phases are broken down into. So if you have a general area that's broke, the recommendations start off with real general recommendations in that area. Build on, once that one's done, then we can move on to the next and we can. This courthouse has done a fantastic job of getting through what the National Center for State Court says are the absolute critical things. That's having a security committee, which is by a new chief judge. Policies and procedures, reporting, those are all key aspects. And then there's a list of 8 or 10 next kind of steps that you all have been instrumental in getting some of those done. And I would highlight, some of the secure doors that are in the courthouse now where they were unlocked before, where we've got key access or card access to access those areas. The improvements in the district court are absolutely phenomenal. They'll have a much better workflow and a much safer area for those people who work. Looked at the front of the court area too. Wonderful setup for security for those folks so they can feel safe in doing their job. There's a couple areas that we'll discuss as I present my report that need a little work in that area. But inside the courthouse, you're making fantastic. Where things are lacking is that first layer of defense, and that starts with that single point of entry. Key to all 3 of those: deter, detect. Having that single point allows you to, as somebody approaches the building, that's your first view of them coming in, so that you can make a read on threat level at that point. And then it also allows you to take the next critical step, which I think the sheriff will talk about a little bit more, and that's screening people as they come through. all of the wonderful security measures that are in place here now inside the building don't prevent weapons and anything, any sort of thing like that from getting into the building. So that's the next step I see for this courthouse to take a huge leap forward in their security. Make sure that the people that are coming into the building don't have ill intent or the capability. They may have the ill intent, but they don't have the capability to carry out that ill intent. I'll have other recommendations in my report that I'm sure Chief Judge will share with you all, but I'd be happy to entertain any questions if you have those.
Jason, I have one, as you know, we have the first floor entrance on the back, we have the second floor entrance on the back, and then we have the second floor main entrance on the front, which is not handicap accessible.
Right.
And then I guess I assume you're advising us to use the first floor access.
Yes, and that was the original recommendation from my predecessor going back to 2009. That one kind of seemed to make the most sense and was the least or the most cost effective, I would say. And you know, the judge talked about the historical importance of the building, and I know following up with that question is the front entrance is kind of the key to that. I worked in a courthouse prior to taking over this job, where the front entrance was kind of the focal point, and we ended up closing that to the public, making it an employee-only entrance, funneling the public through a different entrance. Doesn't detract from the building at all.
Jason, in your review, were you supplied the plans, preliminary plans that we had for the single point of access, you know, on the first floor?
I am not sure if I have the most current. I have what my predecessor had laid out, and I know that was kind of midway through the process of planning that. So I don't have the most current.
I'm not sure that those were updated in remember when we worked on this, sure.
Yeah, this was in the last couple of years.
Keep going.
I'll answer those questions.
Okay, yeah, so, no, I have not seen the most recent, but I'd be happy to look at those.
Okay. We'll follow up on that, make sure you may have the most current, you know, from your predecessor, but we just want to make sure because we put quite a bit of work into that. We'd be interested to see what you think of that.
Yeah, definitely. I'd be more than happy to take a look.
Okay.
Anything else?
I guess just follow up on the cost. I assume any cost that's happening would be our responsibility. There's no funding separate from our operation that would fund part or some of the cost of having.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't come with purse strings. Yes, I understand that totally. Yeah, that's ideally we'd be able to say, yeah, there's money that goes with this. There are, I know, grants that are out there for specifically for court security measures. So those can be with your committee can look into those, and I'd be happy to direct them to some of those areas too. So
I see one of the comments earlier by your predecessor was to eliminate parking, you know, immediately adjacent to the building as well. Now, most of them are employed, or maybe all of them are employees on parking, at least the lower one. But what's your position on that?
So parking is one of those best practices things that are further down the list of things to accomplish, but relatively easy. And in your case, what I would say, just kind of off the cuff, is it wouldn't be difficult to do with the parking you have. I'm mixed up in my directions here. Across the street from the entrance to the parking garage. So there's public parking available there. You got public parking on the street. So having that that garage area as employee parking would be ideal. And that could be, depending on how far you wanted to take it, you could limit access to that card reader with a gate, or really depending on how far you wanted to go with that. But those are steps that I would recommend further along down. But yes, definitely something to target, in that 2 to 5 to 10 year plan.
Any other questions? Thank you very much for this presentation, Jason. Look forward to working with you.
Yes, and again, I look forward. I'd be happy to answer any questions if some come up later. Strom has my contact information. I'm happy to help in any way possible.
Thanks. All right, thank you. I met with Jason and Judge Strom this afternoon. Had a good conversation, about half an hour. Commend Judge Strom, he's been doing a great job leading the security. Jason comes with a wealth of knowledge. His resume is impressive, and I really appreciate his insight having talked to him. So really what I'm here to advocate for, and again, I don't have anything on paper here to present to you, but I want to second the thought that the judge had of the fact that we've been doing a great job from the board to the courthouse here to our law enforcement community, that we've really been working on these layers of security over the years. And that's kind of the term that we've used. We've been identified problems. We solved some of those problems. We've begun fortifying our courthouse here. And when, so I'm here to advocate for exactly what Jason said, something that we've advocated for before, this single point of entry. This is nothing new to courthouses. It's certainly nothing new also to schools when we go to the schools as law enforcement and help them look at their security plans. So number one, I'm here to advocate for that. And we're almost there. We had a good plan. We have engineering designs, which I think, Chairman, you were talking about. I briefly got a chance to mention them. I didn't have them in front of me, of course, so I wasn't able to provide them to Jason, but that would be my next step. And that coming with that also comes the physical presence of security, which I'm going to advocate for. We did buy a magnetometer, or a metal detector, as people know them as. Everybody knows that a metal detector is nothing with somebody manning a metal detector. If somebody goes through it and it goes beep and there's not a deputy there, well, then it really doesn't mean anything at all. So that being said, I'm here to hopefully advocate for and continue the conversation of looking at those two options to help those layers of security, again, to also have employees here within the building security, and I advocate for deputies, not anything else. As the sheriff's office, it's one of my responsibilities to maintain the safety of the courthouse here. And then take a look again at our single point of entry on the first floor. We had a pretty good plan. We were almost there, and I'm not sure exactly what happened, but those are my two thoughts.
Sheriff, can you recall that physically would we have to expand that area, or is this, I know we have.
Yeah, the engineering plans did include some construction costs, which was going to eliminate one bathroom. It would include the opportunity to improve ingress and egress into that first floor entranceway, but we would lose a bathroom because of it.
And then the other one is, and I forget, what kind of FTE would we be talking? 1.5, 1.2, 1.25, 1.25? Did anyone assess how many we have to staff that vacation?
Yeah, I got some ideas. I mean, I would in best case scenario, I'd like to have 3. We have one person at a magnetometer. You can't have one person standing there all day long. You have another roving courthouse employee offering security to the rest of the courthouse. And then the second one is going to be because of vacation, so on and so forth. There are some other ideas, and Jason had some great ideas too from other courthouses that I'd like to explore, but I guess it would be putting that plan together and having it a little more formal as a presentation for my plan.
And I guess the only other thing I had is like walking in today, that area gets quite icy. If that becomes our main entrance, we would have to address, the sidewalk area. If you're coming in now, it's fairly icy tonight.
Right.
The main entrance with the steps is really clear, right? So I just mentioned that as if we do a plan, we should maybe even a little bit there, something maybe safer.
Yeah, I think those will definitely need to be addressed, and I agree with the fact that it's a beautiful courthouse, and the main entrance, of course, is, you know, the front door, the welcoming area of the courthouse, but it is non-ADA compliant, and if we were gonna go to a single point, the most, or the best, in my opinion, is the first floor entrance.
Thank you, Sheriff. Anything else?
Any tough questions?
That discussion on a single point of entry started in July.
Okay. And we
That
do
was
have some,
We do have.
we've got those through UPEA.
Yeah, Karen Cooper was the engineer behind that.
That's right, the architect.
So I know we have some drawings.
Let's dig those up and get them to Jason. You know, just for a review, we'd like your feedback on that. I also asked the board if they would consider just right now setting a subcommittee up. We have our property chair, Commissioner Karen. Would you entertain heading up this special committee to work with the sheriff and department heads? Is there any other commissioner that would care to step forward on that? Wonderful. That way we can keep it to two commissioners. Does anyone want to make a motion? Setting a special courthouse security committee. I mean, we do have those meetings occasionally, but let's make this, let's drill into this as quickly as we can.
Motion to go ahead and create a committee for courthouse security, 2 commissioners, and choose another group of people that include the judge and so on.
There support for that?
I'll support.
Motion made by Commissioner Britt, supported by Commissioner Jensen to create a special courthouse security committee chaired by Commissioner Karen and also joined by Commissioner Britt. Is there further discussion? I would just ask, would you meet a minimum of monthly and report back to the board?
Sure.
Might have to be more often than that. It depends on when the department heads are available, but we need to dust off those plans and see if we can't get some energy going forward on that. Biggest thing is going to be payroll. My heart quaked when you said 3 positions, Sharon. But we understand where you're coming from.
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah,
we just have to figure out how to pay for it.
Okay. It is, and it's hard. I talked to Jason today. I mean, I'd love to be able to have it full time, but that would essentially force me to take our field services off the road, and we wouldn't be able to respond to complaints in the community if we
understand it. Very good. Further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Very good.
Thank you for.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Chief Judge. Sheriff. Okay, moving on to item 5. We have happy to have Lisa McKenzie here speaking tonight on the single housing and family.
Thank you, Chairman Tikkanen and Commissioners. I also have my colleague and partner in crime housing, Mary Ellen Tikkanen here. The Commission has been extremely supportive of all the things that Wilbur's been doing over the last few years in regards to housing, from assisting with the funding of some single-family homes and also supporting our My Hope program. And the My Hope program, if you recall, is a MSHDA program that we received nearly 1.6 million to rehab. We're up to 64 homes. And the majority of those are in Hope County. I'd say about 30 to 35 of those homes are in Hope County. That program is coming to an end in the end of April. So all those homes will be completed. And of course, anytime that you rehab a home, to the extent we have, we've been able to assist these homeowners not only maintain their home, make them more energy efficient, but also in the long run, their individual wealth in their home, resale, and also over time to develop that very important residential tax base for our county and our residents, and pride in home ownership and all the things that go to the economic development of owning a home, right? That's still the American dream. So what we now have is, since the MSHDA no longer has those types of funds available, the only funds that they have currently are the community development block grants, which was originally part of the MEDC, but several years ago, when the regional housing partnerships and the statewide housing plan was developed, those funds moved over to MSHDA to be utilized in housing. So the community development block grants, so the CDBG funds, are only available to municipalities. They're the only ones that can apply for these funds. So what we would like to do is apply for some of those funds on behalf of the county, because the My Hope program has benefited countywide. It hasn't just been one area. We've been able to go out to rural, we've been able to go out to Elkie. We've had 2 homes out there. We can go anywhere in Houghton County and these funds to be able to help a homeowner improve their home. So with the CDBG, with the municipalities, we do have some other smaller municipalities that are directly for their own individual municipalities, and they've been very successful with that. The process is that the municipality would go through MSHDA system, apply with a letter of intent, very straightforward process. And then if they decided that, yes, we would like to do single family rehabs in that community at that amount of money, they would then send a letter of reservation and reserve those CDBG funds, and then and then you would be invited to a full application. Once again, it's a grant, so it is time consuming, and it does require some work. So since the county is a member of WOPR, we are very happy to help the county staff fill out those applications and complete that. And of course, the commission does have to be involved. It is federal funds, so all the resolutions, you have to have public hearings and the resolution. So there is some work to it, but we are here to support you in that endeavor if you would be interested in applying for some of these funds.
What,
we really want you to.
What amount were you anticipating applying for?
We were thinking about applying for approximately up to $500,000. The state has approximately $10 million that they're trying to disperse. And this is round 4, and it opens on February 4th. So beginning of February 4th, we could apply for some of these funds. If we applied for $500,000, the county could invest in another 20 homes at $25,000 a piece.
And that could be anywhere in Houghton County.
Anywhere in Houghton County. Anywhere. It's up to 40,000, but if you go over 25,000, it triggers Davis Bacon, and it also triggers some environmental.
Yeah, because these are all HUD monies. They originate out of housing and urban development.
And these would be forgivable after 5 years.
That was the next question.
Yeah, I figured that was
So it is a process. So what our ask tonight is for you to give us permission to work with either the administrator staff or the treasurer staff, whichever group is willing for us to sit down with them, go through the application with them or the letter of intent, and then see if we can get some of those funds reserved and then finalize the application.
And we're happy to administer it once you are approved for those
Oh,
funds.
hands down, we're not doing that. You know.
We'd be
Yeah.
more than happy to, yeah.
Good, good. No, it's an excellent program. The devil's in the paperwork, and you guys have been our go-to agency for decades, you know, when it comes to these types of funds. So what's the board's wish?
I'll make a motion, we authorize an application for 500,000 to the CDBG block grant program with Mishta, and I guess assign that to Chelsea,
I'll second.
as long as you help her.
Absolutely.
They're ready for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and okay, motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jensen. Under discussion, we do have a pretty efficient staff up on the 5th floor, so I think Chelsea may be able to task some of that work out to no one in particular, but you know, and if it's similar to other grant programs that we've
Yes.
applied for, yeah, there's a first rush of the application work and everything, but after that, you guys kind of turn the reins back over to you.
Right.
Okay. Okay, further questions or discussion? All those in favor signify by, or, well, let's do Madam Clerk, if we could do a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Jansen,
Yes.
Chairman Tickenen,
Yes.
Commissioner Keranen,
Yes.
Commissioner Britz.
Yes. Motion carries. Thanks so much. You guys keep up the great work.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, and we will be in touch in about a week or so. All right, so we'll get all prepared, so on February 4th, we can hit the go button.
That's the way things get done when you have short deadlines.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on then to item 6, we have Liz Ludington from the Start Small program. Hi.
I put some financial reports here, copies for you guys
Okay.
for the previous year.
Okay.
Different. Liz Ludington, I'm the executive director of Treehouse Family Resources. And we've been working on this Start Small program. We're going into year 3. We just completed year 2, just recently actually. And we've been really making some gains in terms of improving childcare in the area. With this program, we've had 35 people over the course of the program inquire. And current interest tends to lean more towards centers than home-based programs. It was kind of developed to increase home-based programs, but there are more people interested in centers right now, which is kind of interesting. It'll generate more seats. We have 4 people who are currently going through the program, and the 4 that are currently enrolled are planning on home-based programs. We have 4 individuals who have completed Start Small over the course of the program. 66 new childcare seats have been created, and we're soon going to add 12 more. We had 1 new center open with 48 childcare seats, which was opened in August of 2025. Used at the Hancock Hub, so that was very exciting because it was a big increase in childcare slots. In autumn of 2026, the new center is planned to open for 7 to 12 children, so that's a little bit bigger program as well. We've had, over the course of the entire program, we've had 5 home programs open, 1 is closed, and there's another in the final licensing phase right now. We've had 18 new jobs created as a result of this program to date. Our childcare coach has also worked with an elementary school, reached out with interest in starting an infant toddler program in order to retain their teaching staff. So we're assisting 3 other existing childcare centers to improve their practices and finances. And we're currently running a media campaign to support awareness and recruit new participants, and that's been very effective. With help from Calumet Electronics, able to work with the marketing department and really increase our marketing on this program, and it's been very effective. So that's sort of where we stand today. We're planning to host a community forum on Friday at the Hancock Hub from 3 to 4. It'll be an open discussion about the state of childcare and sort of celebrating some of the wins we've had over the last couple of years. And then we're hosting a community celebration for families with children. You know, and people can inquire if they're interested in starting childcare centers, or they can just come and have fun. So anyone is invited to that. From last year's budget, we have a remaining, we have a remainder of $35,610 left from the money that was allocated last. But we've spent really within our budget. Some of the items we just either didn't need to spend as much as was planned, or in some cases, we just were able to save, for instance, on travel expenses for our coach to present the project at the Early Childhood Conference. She happened to have family in that area. So we've just had a number of places where we've been able to save money. The final page of the report is our proposed budget for next year. We're hoping that, well, it would be this current year. We're hoping that we'll get a little more funding so that we can really carry this a little further and hopefully find more support for the program, because it really is effective and is really improving the childcare situation in the area. So we are asking for an additional $41,000 for the coming year to be spent by the end of September. The big change in our budget is that I really analyzed how we spent last year and the previous year. So some items that we just were not finding a need for, I've reduced. And we've changed our staffing on this project a little bit. Our previous childcare coach was dedicated completely to this project. She has left our organization and gone to a different opportunity, but we do have qualified people that are still on our staff. So we're dividing the work out among 3 different staff members that have other roles as well. So everything is covered, but it will be covered a little differently than it has been in the past.
Very good. Questions?
So how much did we initially grant you?
Initially, I believe it was 75,000. Yeah, and then 77.5, I believe, last year. My understanding was that there was an additional 43,500 available. I do not think we'll spend the entire thing, which is why I've asked for 41,000 instead of the full amount, just based on the projections from how we've spent in the past and what we have planned for this year.
Very good. What's your wish?
You think after this request, we will be done as far as asking the county?
Yes.
What's your?
Yeah, I would like to find some other form of funding for this project. I think it can be done pretty efficiently now that it is rolling and we have thoroughly marketed it. We have good community awareness of the program. So I think that I would either look for another home for it, because I'm not 100% sure that our organization is the best permanent home for this program, or I'll look for grant funding to continue to fund this program if we hold on to it at Treehouse.
And did I see like Kia has contributed something to this in the last couple of years or not?
Well, there were grants available through KETA, and those were taken advantage of, but they are done now. So those were directly to providers. Yeah, we didn't receive those funds. Yeah.
Then you mentioned Calumet Electronics, but and I know you work closely with businesses, but have any of the businesses stepped up to try to help fund some of the more of the startup stuff?
Really just Calumet Electronics so far, but that's another area that we're pursuing because it really impacts local businesses when their employees cannot find childcare. So.
And what's your fiscal year? What's your fiscal year?
Our fiscal year is October 1st to September 30th.
So you're looking for 41,000 beginning October 1 or beginning the year that we're in now?
The year we're in now.
Yes, so all of this would have to be pending a review by the budget of the administrator who's not here tonight. So
maybe we should table it, but I would hate to stop the project.
Well,
We're making.
Certainly, but I think it would be a wise idea. Not that it's, we just want to make sure we have the money in the budgeted for this.
Initially, did we not use ARPA money, at least initially, the first?
Yes, we did.
Once we did both years, I guess, I'm not sure.
My understanding was that the entire amount was ARPA money, but.
That may very well have been designated. That's what we need to check with the administrator, you know, so tabling it tonight, we could get back to you by next month.
Great, thank you very much.
Make a motion to table it for the next meeting.
I'll support.
Motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jensen to table the topic of what research are for the $41,000 request. For discussion, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Very good. You want to just, you know, we need to make sure Chelsea gets that. All righty. Thank you very much for the presentation. Moving on to item number 7, Tri-County Public Defenders. We have 2 payment requests, as you can see, they're for November and December, both items 7 and 8. Paige, did Chelsea have anything in addition as far as your recommendation on this?
I'll make a motion, we authorize payment of November and December payments to Tri-County Public Defenders in the amount of $7,980.78 and $6,000.
I'll support.
Motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jensen to approve payment of the November 2025 payment request and December 2025 payment request from Tri-County Public Defenders. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Jansen,
Yes.
Chairman Tikkanen,
Yes.
Commissioner Keranen,
Yes.
Commissioner Britz.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. All right. On to item 9. We have a letter of support from Marianne Group in your packet. And I asked for this to be put in correspondence, but they felt strongly about having it on the actual agenda and having the letter read. Stated December 22nd, 2025, Houghton County Commissioners. Hello. Our understanding is there may be a change in our IT. We are writing in support of Alex Radke for in-house IT. First, Alex is always happy to help and is remarkably patient. Patience goes a long way around this place. Yeah. Moreover, he has been very helpful, professional, willing to assess and figure out our problems. Finally, Alex already knows our vendors and our staff. He is a valuable asset and benefits the county. Marianne Group, Chief Deputy, Register of Deeds, and also the other department people. Happy Valentine's Day, Alex. Hey, nervous. That's good. Better than a letter of complaint. Moving on to item 10, appointment of Finance Committee members and alternatives. Commissioner Anderson and Commissioner Keranen have been serving admirably as the Finance Committee, but it's a fast-paced environment, and they're not always available to review the expenditures, which holds up check processing, which leads to people disappointed when they don't get their pay on time or we pay bills on time. So therefore, I'm asking the board if they would appoint alternates. Are you guys still willing to serve in your present capacities?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. Well, we need alternates though, because you're in travel hockey and Glenn is visiting family too. So what do you think about that?
You want a motion?
Yeah.
I'd like to propose a motion that if all commissioners who are primaries and the other three commissioners would fill in when needed by the two primaries, if all three are willing.
Yep.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Britt, supported by Commissioner Anderson, to add the remaining three commissioners. That's Commissioner Jensen, Commissioner Britt, and Commissioner Tickinen as alternates for the finance committee. Further discussion?
It worked out well with this past week. Commissioner Carroll, we reached out, the fifth board reached out to him. He suggested one of us fill in, and it worked out really well. So
perfect. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion, those opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Item 11 is the Fulton County Land Authority Board appointment. It's recommended that we reappoint Commissioner Anderson to the Fulton County Land Bank. I can attest to the fact that Glenn has served faithfully and has been very instrumental in a lot of our redevelopment projects. In addition to that, we have a remaining vacancy, and we have an excellent candidate that stepped forward. I can't find my application. You have it? Easton Lightala, who is a Fulton County resident, tech grad, veteran, employed at Michigan Tech, very involved in the community. Works in property management, also has a lot of background in data analysis. So the problem is we received his application late. Are we in a position where we can waive that requirement?
I would make a motion to waive the deadline and apply what the alignment.
3 years, second to include Glenn.
I want, I'm not abstaining.
We'll have to take this.
Okay, I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jensen, to appoint Easton Lightala to the Fulton County Land Bank and waive the deadline requirement for the application. Further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. We need a motion to reappoint Commissioner Anderson.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Jensen, supported by Commissioner Fritz, to reappoint Commissioner Anderson to the Fulton County Land Bank.
Request of permission to stay.
Is there further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And Madam Clerk, if you would just make note in the minutes that Commissioner Anderson abstained.
I will, thank you.
Thank you. All right, item 12, Fulton County IT discussion. Came up in the work session that the topic of recordings, which led to the suggestion that we just get our meetings on YouTube, which is a technical question. And we were just talking about you, Alex.
Well, I'd like to jump to a rash decision and not listen to anyone for this. No, I think it would be, it's as straightforward as a meeting wraps. We're able to get the file in a video format and then upload that to YouTube. And then from there, have either the link on our main Houghton page or have a link to the Houghton County board meeting channel of some sorts. Either way, I've seen other counties do something similar. I've seen other organizations do something similar, and I believe that would cover us for FOIA requests. This would be publicly available.
Perfect. Any idea of the cost involved?
Free. My knowledge.
Is there a reason that we would need YouTube? Couldn't we just have it on our website?
We can. The ease of use for having it uploaded to Google's servers as opposed to having it housed on our own, especially when we have meetings that may run a few hours longer than expected, does put stress. Do we have space for it currently? Yes, but then we have to come up with a plan with how long we hold on to the meetings, assuming that we either have to continue upgrading our space or not. Okay. These are conversations that we can have, and I would show cost comparisons compared to having it on YouTube, where you might be able to say a lot of things about Google's control over data, and that this might be also a service that will eventually deprecate. It is free, publicly available, well known. Why reinvent the wheel?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I do appreciate having a counterpoint though. There are other free video streaming alternatives. I can look into that.
I just was curious.
Well, you guys just want to go on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a motion at the beginning of our February regular meeting that we record it, and then that this time is available, we upload it to YouTube and then continue to doing that until we decide not to. Right that way.
Support.
Support.
Motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Karen to start with the YouTube recordings beginning with our February regular board of commissioners meeting. What date is that? February 10th, something like that. All right, further discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Alex. And the Hope County Marina Survey Services, that's item 13.
Make a motion, we go with the motion of the engineering architects, $12,800. From quick wire, $15,000.
Support.
Motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Karen to accept the UP Engineering and Architects bid for the Marina Survey. Further discussion? Roll call vote, please. Clark Kelly?
Yes, sir. Sorry, the video cut out.
No worries.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Karen,
Yes.
Chairman Tickenen,
Yes.
Commissioner Jansen,
Yes.
Commissioner Britz.
Yes. Very good. Motion carries. Moving on then to item 14, which is now the appraisal quotes. Trustees have opportunities to review both proposals. And my question is this something that the county board has to approve, or is it something that we rely on the Canal View for? Because after all, the board had directed that Canal View pay for the appraisal. So, do you have a preference, Adam?
I appreciate the work you have. Let's present it to you. Want us to address one of them?
Well, it started from the conversation of the policy committee. I understand that. Get the phrase, right? So I think I know, and speaking on behalf of our board, I don't think they had any inclination or any wanting to get the facility appraised. With that being said, we're here to serve the county, and commissioners are supposed to move one appraisal or the other. We're glad to do so.
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve the low prices from Health Trust of $5,000. Thank you, board.
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jensen, to accept the low bid for the appraisal of $5,000. Is there further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Jansen,
Yes.
Chairman Tikkanen,
Yes.
Commissioner Keranen,
Yes.
Commissioner Britz.
Yes. And motion carries. Thank you. All right. Moving on then to item 15, which is the jury board appointment. Clerk Kelly has recommended appointment of Sharon Foy. And so what is your wish?
I'll make that motion. We approve Sharon Boyd to the
Jury board, well, yeah. Jury board. Just jury board. All right. Further discussion? Well, I'm sorry, was there support for that motion? Yeah. Motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Britz, to appoint Sharon Foy to the jury board. Further discussion? Appreciate Sharon being available to serve the community. Without further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. We have two appropriations for your consideration. The UPIDA, as Albert Pascalates.
UPIDA.
Upper Peninsula Economic Development Alliance. We've been a long time member. That's a $500 annual membership. And also you have a copy or regular appropriation of for Copper Country Community Mental Health, $13,707.91. Take those separately or together? Is there support?
I'll support.
Motion made by Commissioner Britz, supported by Commissioner Jensen to approve the two appropriations. One for $500 for DEDA and Copper Country Community Mental Health. Further discussion? These are budgeted items. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Okay. We'll just move on to public comments. Public comments. Welcome.
I'm Sarah Green from Tyler Township, and I am here again
to warn of the dangers of a lawless federal government and the dangers that pose our community. An attack on Venezuela, which turned out not to be regime change, but only dictator change, has been revealed to be a clumsy effort to benefit multinational oil companies, not Venezuelan or US citizens. The long-term strategy for this operation seems even more vague than were the plans for invasions of Afghanistan and Iraq. We will be paying for those follies for decades, most especially in the health of the hundreds of thousands of veterans who served in those wars. I'm sure you all know local people who were impacted. Americans across the political spectrum are overwhelmingly opposed to ill-conceived adventurism in foreign countries. Aggressive, unprovoked international military actions abroad with bellicose nationalist rhetoric are a characteristic of fascist regimes. Closer to home, Minneapolis is being attacked by our own federal government. Masked goons are marauding in the streets in my hometown, demanding that people show their IDs, breaking car windows, forcing their way into homes, dragging people from cars, snatching people from their workplaces, showing up at schools, and in a terrifying incident last week, murdering a citizen in her car. Employment of the military to suppress nonviolent dissent is a characteristic of fascist regimes. It's a supreme irony that the president is threatening Iran because their Revolutionary Guard is shooting peaceful protesters. At the same time, he is deploying his own newly empowered federal police force against our own citizens. A second irony is that Don't Tread on Me Second Amendment champions have warned us about having our freedom stolen by an oppressive government, yet they've been silent in the face of real threats today. We may feel that these events are occurring in distant cities, but ICE is deploying into small towns in rural Minnesota as well. Michigan actually has a higher immigrant population than Minnesota. It is frightening that their safety may depend on the degree to which our state government panders to the president. According to the last census, 1,706 immigrants live in Houghton County, and I can tell you that many of them are now alarmed for their safety. I urge the commissioners to closely follow federal actions and take steps to protect county residents. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Public comments?
My name's Dawn Kaiser. I am a resident of Calumet Township. I wasn't going to speak tonight. I've never done this before, but I have been a nurse for 30 years. Most of my nursing practice has been in long-term care. I have worked in private places. I have worked in county-run places. I have worked in places that were run by corporations. So I feel like I have a pretty good idea of how this kind of works for the elders that are in these homes. Overwhelmingly, we take better care of our people than someone else can. They're ours, they belong to us. It's our natural inclination to take better care of our people. I'm hoping that this appraisal talk isn't because someone's thinking, we've got this facility, it's worth this much money, hey, who can run it for us? I understand why people in the county would say, we don't really want to be in the nursing home business. But these are the people that voted for our millages. These are the people that drove our school buses, our school teachers, our nurses, our doctors, our public servants. They deserve our best. As infants deserve our best, our elders deserve our best. They took care of us. It's our turn to take care of them. So I am hoping that this appraisal thing isn't about selling our county facility. And I am pleading with people to please continue to take care of our elders that took such good care of us. Thank you.
Thank you. I did want to clarify that no decision has been made on that. I'm not aware of any effort as we speak currently to bring that to a vote. The property committee is trying to analyze if there is any extraordinary value out there. This is a step to try to satisfy those who have raised those questions. But I very much appreciate your comments.
This
Yes.
is Morrison from Hancock. As you know, I'm on the jail committee and the needs subcommittee, and in those discussions, we do find that it is difficult to move forward in talking about a plan for a new jail until we know where that jail will be located. Rightfully, the board has taken a step back after the last millage loss to assess what are the options for where there could be a jail. But I'm asking, I'm putting before the board that perhaps we need a deadline so that the various committees that have been formed can aim towards a particular date where they will be able to wrap up whatever they're able to determine by that time, so that we could move forward in trying to address the great needs that we have for a new jail facility in Hope County. So we have a number of committees with names that are kind of similar, but they do have distinct purposes. The County Held Properties Committee that Commissioner Keranen chairs is looking at properties that the county holds and assessing whether or not they could be sold or have that kind of value in terms of reallocating for other purposes. The Sharon Avenue and Jails Committee that Commissioner Britz chairs is about the issue of the building that's on the Sharon Avenue property that the county owns and the jail property that will be emptied if there is a new jail. And those two committees in particular, it would be very helpful if the county board would consider thinking strategically about a timing issue of when to hear from those committees so that we can move forward in the rest of the planning that is needful for this project.
Thank you. Actually, we'll put that on our next work session agenda. Come to agreement or suggest an agreement for when there are committees, our various jail committees can make a report and voice their recommendations. I would like to see that happen by the April meeting, but let's discuss it at our work session. Other public comments?
If it's okay, I have to speak from here because that messes with my ears. I'd like to thank the board for the plaque. It's really nice to be recognized for 22 years of work for the county. I've been honored to do it. And I'd like to leave you with one more good piece of information for the airport. While we're here, I received word from Eagle that we received another $1 million grant to do PFAS remediation and mitigation and also clean out our fire trucks. So I leave that to another grant to administer. So on that note, I'm done. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Dennis.
Chairman Tickman, if you wouldn't mind, could I ask you and Mr. Hex to recreate the moment that you gave him that plaque so that we have a picture to share that with the press? If the two of you would recreate that.
Be happy to. Yeah. Can we do that after?
Yep.
Other public comments? Any announcements?
I've got one to share. Next month, I'll be meeting on the 3rd, return on the 17th, so requesting permission to this February meeting.
And you're leaving
on the 3rd, on the 3rd on the 17th.
Yeah. Unless one year over the yes, we're gonna give you a month off. It is. Yeah. All right. Any other announcements?
I'd just like to say that I support everything that Sarah Green had to say tonight, and this is the United States in 2026, not Germany in 1939. That's all I have to say.
Well, I guess I'm going to channel up my late departed father and not say anything.
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah, there you go.
Second.
Thanks a lot, folks.
Go 15 minutes shorter, my last.
Yeah, Dennis. What time is it?